What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of RGTP, a special Thursday edition of RGTP. Sadly, could not make the live stream
At
yesterday.
least
Uh,
we're doing it today, right? We
you
didn't wait
know, of
another week.
course, of course, it's a little a little wacky here and there. We got to move some things
Yeah.
around, but we are back. The power rankings are here. NBA basketball is here. We got a shit ton of drama all across. Um, Everywhere, honestly, everywhere. We will talk about the drama that's going
I
on in
believe fists
wrestling
were thrown.
tomorrow. Yes, there's a lot of drama going on, man. There's so much shit happening. It's definitely gonna be interesting to break it down. But of course, Mamba, how are we doing today, my guy?
I'm doing great, man.
Doing
Great morning. It feels good outside. It feels good inside. Playing games. About to talk about what we love to talk about. It's great.
Hey, I agree. And you know what better place to start than the sport that just finally has
Yes.
graced the court once again. NBA preseason has kicked off. Few games have already been played. Some teams have played 2 games. My Celtics blew a ridiculous lead last night to Toronto. We lost in overtime. Very depressing
You
to
know,
see. But NBA basketball is right around the corner officially. The headline of today is not a good one. It starts in the drama category. Draymond Green and Jordan Poole get into a scuffle, some
yes.
some pushing and shoving, maybe a
Fist
punch
was
or two
thrown.
was thrown.
Right.
Apparently, all is well. Draymond apologized and everything seems to be better. But how did you feel? Initial reaction, guys just want to chip together. And reports are, don't know how true it is, Jordan Poole is feeling himself a little bit because he's on the verge of
Yo.
signing a pretty nice extension within the organization.
The one thing that I hope is true about all this is that Jordan Poole actually called him a triple
Triple
single.
single.
That is the funniest thing that I
Oh,
read
God.
about all of this. Initial reaction is Jordan Poole. Why are you, disrespecting your elder? Pretty much is how you look at it. But apparently, the Warriors like to give Jordan Poole a hard time as well. So, like, if it's like, all right, I'm sick of this. I've been in the league for X amount of years, 3-4 years now. Very pivotal to that team in winning that championship. I feel he has earned his respect, and if they continue to just like what feels as disrespect in his opinion, of course he's going to say something. If you feel as though you deserved a spot, you're about to get $100+ million. Why are you still treating me like I'm nothing to you? Pretty much, Now, obviously, he probably isn't treating him like he's nothing. But why are you talking down on me? Why are you disrespecting me in front of everyone? That's not cool, right? So he called him a triple single. It's not bad.
If that's said to be true,
quad single, quad single. Give Draymond a little bit of respect,
Poor Draymond. Draymond's been so disrespected for years.
He has, and would you want to give him a max? Would you want to give Draymond a max? Because this is what it comes down to, right? Do the Warriors pick Draymond or do they pick Jordan Poole is what it sounds like.
Yeah. I don't know about all that. I mean, they're all going to get their money somehow. The Warriors somehow manage to pay everyone and keep everyone happy somehow.
Yes.
I don't know how they do it, but they do it. They'll figure it out. But initially, I was like, nothing to worry about. They'll figure it out. First of all, it's Draymond Green. Let's be honest. It's Draymond Green.
Loves him some drama.
If there's anyone in the league that is, will absolutely have this revolved around them, it's Draymond. Like, this is a no-brainer. But it's the Warriors with Draymond. So, like, it's not like Draymond's doing this on another team. It's not James Harden fighting and arguing or Kobe and Dwight a few years back. Like, it's nothing like that. I think this should be fine. They're a championship caliber team. They know what to do. Jordan Poole, the guys will hug it out, and they'll be just fine. I think they'll be.
They potentially got better, like
in a way,
bringing people back, keeping their key young pieces, only really losing like Otto Porter. I feel like they lost maybe one more person. Yeah, Gary Payton. But you're replacing it with Dante and Kuminga and Moses Moody is supposed to have a bigger role. The Warriors they might be at each other's necks right now, but come the start of the season, they'll be together.
Agreed. I absolutely agree. Before that, stole the headlines. The headlines were for some guys that aren't actually in the NBA just yet. Scoot Henderson, Victor Wembanyama, Slenderman himself was going crazy on the court. How do we feel about that matchup? The future of the league, it's been growing. We've been seeing it more and
Yes.
more. The LaMelos, the Lonzos, the Zions, Trae Young, like all these guys are starting to get these mixtapes and these highlights, and now all these kids are getting talked about more and more and more as they're coming up. G League is a very real possibility. Overseas, we've seen LaMelo bounce around Australia, here, there, in Lithuania.
Overtime
Like
league.
it's over. You know what I
There's
mean?
two prospects in the overtime league.
There
Like,
is plenty to
yeah.
come from. There's plenty to go from. Not just the college route. International stud and one of America's, Scoot Henderson
Yes.
on the come up. How do we feel about this matchup? And a little glimpse of what they have for the league in store for the league, I should say.
If you get the second overall pick, you are still happier than a motherfucker. Like, yes, of course, you want the prospect of Victor Wembanyama, who is 7'3", 7'4", with like an 8-foot wingspan, can shoot 7 for 11 from the 3, 4 rebounds, but it's you maybe want a little bit more, but I think he had like 5 blocks too.
He got
like he went crazy.
Style.
Steals, you put him on a guard, he reach in there with his arms that just go everywhere, and obviously you wanted him. But Scoot Henderson, work on his jumper a little bit. He got 9 assists, I think, 5 boards or something like that to go with like 28 points. Yes.
Bucket.
If you don't need a point guard, you're going to be like, shit, second pick. But even still, he's good enough for you to take where it's like, we have to take him because it looks like he's going to be this good. And I know it's only one game for both of them, but their one game looked pretty damn impressive to everyone. Sure.
No, I absolutely agree. Looking good. I can't wait to see what else we have in store. Ho You Fat, I want to say, was also sweeping headlines.
Steve,
early, Steve was doing his thing. It is
number one jersey sale in the world, you said? That man probably got a hefty commission after his picture went wild. Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on early on. But let's get into some debuts.
Yes.
Ben Simmons as a net plays 19 minutes. He gets 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. Brooklyn loses.
3 for 4, 3 for 5.
3 for 6. He was 3 for 6.
Okay.
3 for 6. Didn't shoot any free throws or any 3-pointers. Obvious.
We know what would happen if he did.
But Ben Simmons is back. They did lose, but obviously this team's gonna have to iron out some kinks. They have some players to mix in. Joe Harris wasn't around. Obviously has to get in the mix. Royce O'Neal and TJ Warren have to also be mixed in. And just how much is this team actually going to be bought in to this new sort of the new regime that is not new regime, but they're trying to figure it out. It's been hit or miss in Brooklyn. A lot of high hopes early on. Now it's time to, get it together because KD might just leave. Kyrie accepted his option. Kyrie might be done after this season. Like, what is going to happen in Brooklyn? But
it's gonna talk about high hopes for the Nets. When they do the survey last year, the Nets had 72% that the GMs thought they were going to win the championship because they had James Harden, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant. Well, now you have Kyrie, Kevin Durant, and Ben Simmons, it feels he's a better fit with them because of his play style. Yep. He's not really going to score like that. He's going to defer to his star. If he does attack the basket, good because you're 6'11", and you can dunk, you can lay up. But he's passing. We know him as a passer. His defense, he can guard 1 through 5. You saw him poking the ball out of the guard's hand. He just poke. This is a team where if they can stay healthy, you have to watch out for them. Kevin Durant, he gets a lot of hate, and I send hate his way. You send hate. Everyone sends hate KD's way except for the KD stands, but KD will go down as one of the best basketball players to ever play. Kyrie will go down as one of the best guards, one of the best, if not the best handler. Like, that's how good the Nets have. And that's 2 of their players.
Yep.
Ben Simmons, without really an offensive game other than passing and dunking, is an all-star caliber player because that's how good he is.
Potential defensive player of the year candidate also.
Exactly. He can grab you 10 boards if he's playing the center spot. He can give you 10 assists if he's in the game because he sees the court because he's 6'11", right? And then you just have all these shooters around them.
Yep.
Seth, Joe, Patty Mills. Yeah, their bigs are lacking, and that's always going to be the knock for the Nets. But when you get into the playoffs, you tend to see more teams go towards a small ball lineup. And Ben Simmons being your small ball 5, yeah, that sounds pretty nice to me. Yeah, that sounds pretty nice.
Yeah, it's definitely going to come down to them ironing out the rest of the kinks throughout this the preseason to be able to fire up on all cylinders. I agree. They're our team.
Oh,
if they are
TJ
healthy,
Warren as well. Forgot he signed there.
Yeah, like I said, if they're like you said, if they're a team to look out for it when they're healthy, it's going to be this one.
Exactly.
Especially if they can all get on the right mindset. 2 guys that can easily roll out there and get you 30, no problem, and a potential defensive player of the year candidate, and a bunch of loaded up shooters. It's really just
a
going to
double without scoring. Draymond-esque, you know?
He can get you he's long and lengthy enough and athletic and fast enough to get you a low-end triple-double for sure. He can get you a 10-10-10 ball, maybe. You never know.
And maybe even a 5x5 because of his defensive, you know, like
really gonna have to see how he pans out. But Ben Simmons' debut,
yeah.
a lot to be,
I'm hopeful.
A lot to be desirable. We'll see how it jumps into the regular season as we continue on with another debut in his brand spanking new Cavs jersey. Donovan Mitchell dropped 16 points with 5 assists as him and Darius Garland try to figure out and mesh together in the backcourt. I feel like this is an easy sort of transition, at least for Mitchell. Obviously, having Mike Conley in there for the last 2 seasons or so. Spots. It's funny because we just got Nips in here talking about the Jazz NBA champion.
Probably not, homie. Probably not.
But Mitchell, of course, being with with Mike Conley in Utah, has had a little bit of has dealt with another guard, deferring to another guard. Jordan Clarkson, obviously 60 Man of the Year. He knows how to defer. Team looks like it's going to be fluid. The Cleveland Cavaliers look like they're going to be a fluid team.
Some solid depth.
They're going to need to figure out, a little bit more on the depth. Figure out, like we mentioned before, with playoffs, everything sort of gets condensed. You need to pick out a few more guys.
Your top 8.
But, they have a lot of pieces in a lot of areas, obviously. Yeah. How are we feeling? A debuting Donovan Mitchell, 16 points, 5 assists, in a loss. But nonetheless, it is the preseason.
It's preseason.
We're waiting. We're seeing how people are playing. And, they're getting their legs up under them.
It's a team. Donovan, Darius, Mobley, Allen. Of course, it's going to be exciting to see them play. My only thing is Donovan. I know you said it. You said you can play defense. We know you can play defense, too. Just go out there and play just a little bit. Just a little bit. That's all I ask. Shout out the Sixers, though, for beating them. Shout out the Sixers for beating them, though. That's all I got to say.
Sixers with wins over the Nets and the Cavs already.
Yep.
So not a bad start. Preseason, exactly. Yeah. Preseason. Donovan Mitchell, he's going to be doing this thing.
I'm glad he's happy.
One more stop around the NBA as preseason warms up. We got the Lakers off to an 0-2 start, and Anthony Davis is already missing a game due to I believe it was back tightness.
This man should never play a preseason game.
How are we feeling? Yeah, what's going on with the Lakers?
The Lakers are going to continue to be dog shit. And I am so happy.
No good.
It's weird because they brought in the pieces last year that they brought in, the Malik Monk, Kendrick Nunn. Kendrick Nunn, never played, and now he's expected to be, the starting shooting guard.
I have no idea.
It's okay, and then Patrick Beverly was expected to be a shooting guard for him, and Russell Westbrook is, I guess, change up his jumper a little bit, try to get a little bit better at it. Only thing that you're really watching the Lakers for this year is LeBron to pass that record of Kareem. That's literally all you're looking for. If they make the playoffs, 8 seed, 7 seed, most likely a play-in team unless it really just clicks this year. And Russell Westbrook is not doing his MVP Rocket stuff, but contributing to wins, playing defense, shooting well, passing the ball, not just chucking up whatever the hell. And then LeBron wants to buy a team for Las Vegas. That's the Lakers. Dysfunction, and LeBron's talking about after his career, he wants to own a team in Vegas. All right, that's cool.
Yes. The show is.
Yeah.
It's been a rocky road.
I do
this
like what they
offseason.
did. Added all the young pieces
Yeah, I like
because
the
it's
Lonnie
what they
Walker
needed,
pieces
but
and stuff like that, but they made a lot of
it's not enough. Yeah.
interesting decisions. I'm still not in love with getting rid of THT and Stanley Johnson for Pat Bev. Weird trade, but they definitely got to figure some things out.
Too unprotected first. I understand they're unprotected, but it's for Miles and Buddy Hield, bro.
Yep.
Anthony Davis doesn't want to play the 5 anymore. You give him quite possibly the best 5 to put next to him. A dude who can shoot. A dude who can block 17 shots a game. And then you're adding Buddy Hield, who is a shooter.
Who
and
was
you play him next to Russell.
He was supposed to be there anyways. That's the funny part.
Yeah, for Kuzma. For Kuzma. And the Laker fans were like, no, we don't want to give up Kuzma. And it's like, you gave up Kuzma for Russell Westbrook, and now you want to destroy the man because he isn't playing what you thought Westbrook was going to play like.
I hear it.
The Lakers are so ass.
Nip says, good thing that they suck because it makes the Jazz not hurt as much. You know, it's definitely.
Yeah. The Jazz will probably take one game from the Lakers this year. I'll give them one game.
I had high hopes for them, and they just kind of keep making moves. And
your hopes
are
too high for the Jazz, bro.
The Jazz's depth, though. They have a lot of players, though. And I'm also like Colin Sexton. I'm a Colin Sexton.
I firm believer when they drafted Garland that Sexton was going to be the guard that stays. That was me. I like Sexton because of his game he played with Bama when it was 3-on-5. Like that game right there captured Sexton for me, and I was like, let's go.
No, I like the pieces Utah has. If they can figure it out, move some things around, and make it a little,
they're still making
so
moves.
Many pieces. Exactly.
But
they have so
Clarkson got to go. Conley, if he don't get traded, he's going to be bought out.
Yeah, most likely.
Malik Beasley, he can stay because he's never really been one like, oh, I hate it here because I'm not playing. He's going to get mad minutes with
There's a wide range from Knicks.
I mean, I'd say best hope for the Jazz, maybe 30. Maybe. And that's everything
going to break even. Yeah, it's going to be a tough season. Jazz obviously in rebuild mode.
Call them up. You need a shooting guard, come off the bench, Clarkson. You need a veteran point guard, Malik Beasley.
They got a few.
Yeah.
They have a few guards back there. They definitely got to figure it out. As the NBA preseason continues to roll on, and we continue to talk about it more and more on the show. Yes. We will get back to that. As we continue onward, we are finally going to unveil the first RGTP power ranking.
We're starting at 1.
We will start at 1 because it's both of our lists. You know, we differ, obviously. Yes. We each have our own opinions, but we agree on some of it. Usually, we did agree on the 10 teams we believe are the 10 best teams in the NFL. We just have a little bit of a different order for them. So we'll start at the top.
And don't hate us when you don't see the Bengals and you don't see this team and you don't see that team.
We'll get to that. Full disclosure, this is beyond win and loss records. This comes down to stats, also your players, your coaching staff, your organization. Just because you're 4-0 does not mean you're at the top of the list. Just because you're 1-3 does not mean you're the worst team. Yeah. A lot of things happen. This is the power rankings, not standings. We got to get that out.
We think this team's going to be this good.
And that number 1, the team that we agree on is definitively the best team in the NFL, Kansas City. I think that is
shocker.
Pretty fair to say. I don't have it updated this week. I will update them next week. I have like our week 14 from last year, I think is here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't maybe even later than that. Yeah.
But the Chiefs?
Kansas City. Number team, 1.
It's Patrick Mahomes. It's the fact that Clyde Edwards-Helaire, even when he has 7 rushing attempts with no yards, he has like 2 touchdowns. You know, it's Travis Kelce not being able to be stopped pretty much. Yeah, their wide receivers are a little lackluster, but he gets the ball to who is open, and the Chiefs' offense. Yeah, it might, see some other offenses coming up soon.
Yep.
It's the Chiefs, bro, and right now they look like they might be on their way. They just might be. Their defense is solid too.
Absolutely.
And that's not good.
They easily move the ball up and down the field. Arizona, week 1.
Yeah.
Last week,
44-21, right? Something like that.
last week, Tampa Bay.
A lot.
No
Yep.
problem moving the ball up and down the field. Beat the brakes off of Justin Herbert, literally knocked him out of the game. Probably changed the good part of that Chargers season.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
my fantasy
obviously
quarterback, you dicks.
the one loss, obviously coming to an Indianapolis Colts team that was winless. They
Yeah.
were 1 in. Were they 0-2-1?
1-1.
Yeah,
1-1.
tough, obviously, to lose to a team like that that's reeling. Well, obviously, we'll
That
see
is
the Colts
dog
play.
shit.
Well, obviously the Colts play, but the Colts are obviously no slouches. They have a few good pieces on their roster. Definitely a team that we both thought were a lot better on
A
paper.
lot better.
But Kansas City's still Kansas City. When you break it down, they absolutely have the best quarterback coach combination in the NFL. And then obviously it helps out when you have the number 1 tight end in the NFL. Run game obviously is coming
O-line is
along.
great.
Isaac Pacheco has surprised a shit ton of people, and the defense is
Rocking
holding up just
Tyreek's number. That's why.
they've been holding up just fine. And then at number 2, the Philadelphia
Can't
Eagles,
argue one.
undefeated. Of course, you can absolutely argue they should be number 1. They have no problems playing on the road, at home.
In the rain.
It doesn't
Cold.
matter.
Doesn't matter. Nah.
The additions this team has made has proved to be wildly important. Jalen Hurts is some people's current front runner for the MVP right now.
Ooh. I like it.
I'm hearing, him, Lamar, Mahomes are up there right now. Those are the 3 names I see floating around. A little sprinkle of Josh Allen here and there. But how are we feeling? Philadelphia, all off season long, they've been making additions. They brought in Jordan Davis. They brought in Kobe Dean. They made the big trade on draft day to bring in AJ Brown.
AJ.
They bring in,
Still have
mean?
Slay
James
there.
Bradbury's in the backfield gets added in.
Kaiser White.
Hassan Reddick
Their
gets
O-line
signed.
is still solid. Their running back, there's like 7 of them back there that run.
Fly,
they
Eagles,
all
fly.
get a touchdown. Yeah,
Fly, Eagles, fly.
This Eagles team is exactly what. This is where, when you put an expectation on a team, where you're like, this team can be really good, like damn good. They can probably make it to the Super Bowl if they play as well as they can. The Eagles are playing as well as they can right now. And that's very, very scary for the rest of the NFC. Because they're going to have to go through them, most likely, to get to that Super Bowl. That defense is insane. There's literally players at every level now. In the offense, Jalen Hurts, he might not throw 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, but he'll have 3 total touchdowns because guess what? He's running on you.
Yep.
And I forget who it was. It was someone against the Jags. It was like 2 people. He just ran right through him, right into the touchdown. It's like, yeah, you're a quarterback doing that. That's ridiculous. His arm, a lot of people like to shit on his arm. It's solid. Like, the dude completes his passes. Who cares if he can't throw it 70 yards downfield?
Yeah.
He'll get it 50 yards, and then Devontae or AJ will take off for the rest.
The rule is if you're a mobile quarterback, you can't throw the ball. That's just the rule.
Yeah.
That's the rule in the NFL, apparently.
It's stupid as hell. Because he started like 15 for 15 against the Jags.
Monday night plays Minnesota, beats Minnesota, in a big game.
And very accurate in that game, too.
There's not, it's they got obviously a few more games, and a lot of people are viewing this team as the NFC's best team. We'll have to see, because there's a legitimate chance that the road to the Super Bowl will go through Philadelphia if this team can continue to play the way that it is playing. And the last team that we agree on in terms of placement, coming in at number 3. The Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills did, for the most, to start last season, was the number 1 team on our power rankings. This season, start off at number 3. The defense is absolutely still there. They still have Josh Allen, and they still have Stephon Diggs. They put up points, no problem. But they're lacking what has been lacking for years now, and it's a run game. It's absolutely hindering. It's hindering their progress. Their best runner is absolutely Josh Allen. He is literally their best runner. It is insane, and I feel bad because he's going to get absolutely blasted one of these games. He is a big boy. Don't get me wrong. He can hold his own. He can throw his weight around, but they need to make sure they keep him safe. because they're one Josh Allen injury away from having an absolutely
Matt Barkley.
terrible season.
When was the last time you saw that name?
Terrible season.
He was punting in the preseason to answer that question.
Yeah, they dealing with all that shit. Yeah, that was bad. But nonetheless, injuries though. Sadly, this season they lose Poyer out there in the backfield. Last season it was Tre'Davious White.
Still waiting to get him. So.
Yeah. So the secondary obviously
line, I believe, gets
healthy.
Yeah.
Von Miller gets added into the equation though, helps out that and bolsters out that team a bunch. Obviously, beating the defending champs Rams on opening night. Able to
beating.
Off.
I think you undersold what they did to the Rams.
Demolished,
there you go. Yep. Yes.
Able to make a comeback and beat Lamar, take them off at the end of the fourth quarter drive. Obviously, very questionable decisions. It is Hyde, not Poyer. I knew it was one of the two. I think that's why Mamba paused for a second, trying to think. I agree.
I paused because the Bills they got healthy. They can easily be number one, easily. But the Chiefs and the Eagles, it just seems they are more connect. Obviously, they're both healthier teams, so it's really not a knock on the Bills. It's just, and that's about to be a couple teams coming up. To be honest, it's not just the Bills. Would you like to go to 4? Because this is where we split.
This is where it all starts to beg, it goes back and forth. Mamba, your fourth place team is
the Green Bay Packers. And it's simply because their quarterback's name is Aaron Rodgers. The defense is still solid. And just like the first game last year against the Saints, they blunder against the Vikings in week 1. But they show quickly why. Yeah, the 14-12 wasn't the prettiest, but it's Tampa. You expect Tampa to be competent, even though they showed some sus in these few weeks. But I can't take that 1 week after seeing it happen even worse last year and be like, oh yeah, Green Bay's horrible. They don't deserve, they deserve to be 7 or 6. They are probably the second best team in the NFC.
I hear it. I will get to Green Bay because I do not have Green Bay in at number 4.
You do not.
At number 4, I have the Miami Dolphins. Understandably, I get the concern for Tua. Teddy Bridgewater is serviceable. Probably just as good if we're being honest. We'll have to wait and see.
I don't know. Tua was so.
We'll have to wait and see. Yeah. I give a ton of credit. They obviously lose to the Bengals. It was an emotional game having what happened. But they beat the Bills, they beat the Ravens, and they beat the Patriots. All potential contenders, all potential playoff contenders that they could have faced off to start the year. They beat them all. Big comeback and put up a ton of points against the Baltimore Ravens. The wide receiver duo is just immaculate. Let's be honest.
Yes.
It is an outstanding wide receiver duo. They just need to stay healthy. Waddle right now is dealing with a bit of an injury. If they can stay healthy, this team is going to have no problem with Teddy Bridgewater under center. Mike Gesicki, a ton of running backs, Chase Edmonds, Mostert. It doesn't really matter.
Gold, I believe his name is.
It does not matter who's back there. They're going to move the ball somehow, some way. McDaniels has figured out to scheme up ways to move the ball. And the defense has still been a pretty solid defense over the last few years. So I have them in at number 4. And at number 5, you have...
I have the Dolphins. That's where they are. And I put them at 5 simply average, right? Like, they can either go up or they can go down. They're right in the middle, and it's because of the Tua injury. And Teddy, yes, 5-0 with the Saints as the backup. He came in. I know about Teddy.
I know.
But I know about Teddy. And I did pick him up in one of my fantasy leagues. Don't get it twisted. I did because in that league I had Tua and Dak. Yeah. So I did pick up Teddy because the offense is solid. It has so many weapons. The defense is solid. It's just Teddy Bridgewater being my quarterback. I can't have him over Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry. Get Wilson though, Tua. God, that was horrible. Horrible.
I hear. My number 5 team coming in is a team that I've been rooting for, and I've been slowly backing. I
Yeah.
got the 49ers in at number 5. Love me some San Francisco. I actually think they are the second best team. I know they're not 3-1 like some of these other teams that we'll discuss in the NFC, but I think they have a lot of things covered. The biggest question mark, obviously, being their quarterback. But outside of that, run game does not disappoint. Have 3 wonderful weapons in Ayuk, Kittle, and Debo. The defense is absolutely no joke. It's only gotten better. I feel like they obviously shown that they can win games just off of defense. And Gold as a kicker hasn't been horrible. Obviously, Jimmy G is gonna win you some games. He's not gonna, he's gonna lose you some
Yeah.
games. But all you
Yeah.
need to do is have a game manager that's gonna get the ball out there, and he should be just fine. I
Yeah.
have at number 5 the 49ers personally.
I hear it. I do.
And your number 16, Mamba.
I believe this is the Niners for me, right?
It is the
Yes.
49ers. A
Yeah.
little bit of a
Yeah, I
trend
know
here.
it's my list, and I'm asking Lewis if my list is right. Oh well,
A little close, the back and forth.
The thing that helps the Niners is that game against the Rams. Their defense absolutely shut them down. Cooper Kupp had like 25 targets, and he was
Yeah.
the only one who could
19.
do something. It was a lot, and it was pissing me off because Allen Robinson. You gave this man $45 million for him to just chill. Like,
Yep.
I can do that.
That trade,
You can throw
the
Hey,
getting rid of Robert Woods
you
is
see
definitely looking to
you see
backfire.
this? I fit in with the wide receivers over there. Just saying. I can do it. I can just stand there. You're just gonna have your wide receiver stand there and do nothing. Jimmy Garoppolo, he's obviously he is what he is. When he first came in, we were like, oh shit, solid. He's be pretty good quarterback, but we see his max. We've seen what he gets you to.
Yeah.
NFC Championship, Super Bowl, doesn't win it. Might be a little choke artist, but the 49ers are going to be a solid team. They have Debo, they have Ayuk, and that defense was just so impressive that even though they're 2-2, they definitely deserve to be over some 3-1 teams.
Yeah. No, I hear it. I absolutely love it so far. As you can see, it's been it's close right here. The top 3 felt pretty easy and decisive. After that, it's gotten really, really close. As we continue onward, my number 6, I have Green Bay.
Yes.
I have Green Bay in at 6. Lost to Minnesota, obviously, to start the year. I guess a deserved win against Tampa. It was just such an ugly game. Obviously, Rodgers isn't able to fully invest in his receivers for some odd reason. And then another reason why they're this slow for me, obviously being a Patriots fan, watching that game last week.
Yeah.
He couldn't do shit in the first half. Second half, he came out and started busting our ass, but he could not get shit going, and it seems to be a trend. He's starting off the games really slow, not
Maybe
able
he needs
to
to take
put
some
up a ton of
shrooms.
points. Get the ayahuasca going early.
Yeah.
Yes, the ayahuasca going early. I hear it, but the defense is still really good, but they're lacking weapons is one of the reasons why I have them lower down. The teams I have above them have Kittle, Debo, Ayuk, Miami, Tyreek, Waddle. When it comes down to weapons, I absolutely understand. The quarterback is Aaron Rodgers compared to Tua or Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah. But I've seen Brady do it for years. When he ain't got shit to throw to, it's going to be tough. And right now, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a lot of shit to throw to. He has to figure out and get better timing with these kids because Christian Watson could be an absolute stud. And Romeo Doubs was someone that was killing it in the preseason, apparently. And everybody was in love with him. So definitely have to see, Cobb, Zard. There's a few
both
guys.
The running backs.
They're a run and defense sort of team.
Yeah.
That's all they have though. Outside of Aaron Rodgers, just 2 running backs.
Yeah, they just need that one wide receiver to catch on.
So I give them just a little bit of a step down on my number 16.
Totally understand it.
Down to my number 6. For you, your number 17, Mamba.
Skull.
Yes, sir.
Skull.
The Minnesota Vikings at 3-1.
They should be 2-2.
They should be 2-2.
They should be 2-2, bro. I'm so mad we lost to them. The offense. You want to talk about weapons? You could easily have this team over the Packers as well. Thielen, Jefferson, KJ. They brought in Rager, even though I know he's not as sexy as the other three. They got Dalvin Cook. They got Madison. The defense is where it's like, you know.
Yeah.
But it's solid. Patrick Peterson's back there being the veteran for – they still got the dude out of Clemson. McKenzie, something like it. Their defense ain't all that, you know. That's what we know about the Vikings. They lost some pieces, but they were able to keep like Harrison Smith, the free safety back there. They got Patrick Peterson. They have vets. They don't. Daniil Hunter.
They brought in this Darius.
Yeah.
Hunter.
You know, they just they need something in that secondary to give them a boost. So for that, I have them at 7. But that offense, if Kirk Cousins could just not be Kirk Cousins every prime time, this team would be ridiculous. Can I have Justin Jefferson on my team? Can I have Adam Thielen?
Everyone wants
Can I
Justin
have them? Yeah,
Everyone wants Justin Jefferson. We cannot have Justin.
We were one pick away, bro. We were one pick away from.
We all want Justin Jefferson.
Crying, bro.
Trust me. As moving on, my number 17 is not Minnesota. It is actually probably surprising. I got Dallas.
Yeah, you do.
I'm giving some credibility to Dallas down there. They're winning games. Whether it's pretty or not, whether it's with Cooper Rush or Dak Prescott, the defense is doing just enough to get them by. Diggs and Michael Parsons obviously having seasons. You know, they're making a massive impact just outside of all the hype from last year. It was leading interceptor and then the reigning defensive rookie of the year. Now it's time to get it together.
Favorite to win defensive player of the year.
Do you know what come on now. He's stepping up. I saw
a graphic between him and Aaron Donald comparing the two because it seems like it's going to come down to those two in all the media's mind.
Yep.
For D linemen, Aaron Donald is first, and then for like D ends and linebackers, Micah Parsons is first for like everything. Since Parsons has come in, nah, bro. Parsons, that is a different animal right there, and I have them at 8.
Yep.
And I give it to him at 8 because, you know, like you said, I give credit. Cooper Rush. That man been balling. He been putting it on the money. I just need a little bit more to CD, please. Just a little bit.
Hey, it's been a better connection.
Their run game is still so ass.
Yeah, you know, they're a little sus. They definitely have a huge game against the Rams, who are also wanting to bounce back. So
whose run defense is like first in the league.
This is gonna be a big game for Dallas. Game for Dallas. I have them at 7. You have them at 8.
Yep.
So obviously, like we mentioned before, it was tough. Yeah. After 1 and 3, it was like it can really go either way. You can have some interchangeable teams here and there. My number 8, jumping on up. I got the boys from Duval County. Got Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville is wickedly underrated. You watch these guys like every Sunday because
unfortunately,
they're actually good
I will say year. Actually not unfortunately.
They're actually good this year. Doug Peterson got them boys whipped up into shape.
Right.
All the draft picks over the last few years, some of them are hitting finally. They obviously have solid pieces on offense and on defense. Christian Kirk has had so far a good start to the season. The run game is on point. James Robinson's back, dealt with injury on and off all last season. Travis Etienne's getting healthier and healthier, giving them sort of kind of what Green Bay has, where they have sort of a runner and then a receiver for running backs, building up a nice 1-2 punch for Trevor Lawrence, who's also taking a step forward in the right direction.
Doesn't look like he peaked in high school, huh?
It doesn't. Hey, he's looking a little bit better. He's definitely on his way. I give a ton of credit to Jacksonville at number
8 for you.
At number 8 for me, Devin Lloyd from Utah, one of the best linebackers in the NFL, holding it down there. And just like I said, Mamba's been watching.
That defense been humming, bro. That defense.
Mamba's local station being down there.
Yeah.
You know, from being in Florida, he's watching the Jags regularly.
Yeah. No, I'm seeing what they do, and that defense, it does impress me, but I know they're gonna do something that just completely disappoints. It's coming real soon. Hopefully not. Hopefully, after all the years of watching them, maybe they finally break it, but after having watched them for so many years, kind of catch on to what they do. And I want to buy it. I really do. And spoiler alert, I have them at 10. I have the Jags at 10. Yikes. My number 9, though.
Our number 9, actually.
Our number 9, yes.
Yep, we actually agree on this one.
The Baltimore Ravens. Shout out, Matt. And Lamar Jackson just looked horrible against that Buffalo Bills team.
They've blown 2 17-point leads this season.
Miami. 2. And them. Miami and the Bills. Yeah. Maybe it's just that division. maybe it's just that division. But you know what you're getting with the Ravens. You expect them to play defense because that's always been like the Ravens that I know is that they play defense. But Lamar Jackson, there's a reason why a lot of people think he's going to win MVP. And it's because he puts a team on his back. And as hard as he tries, sometimes it's just not enough. For a good amount of times, Lamar Jackson is usually good enough to get it done. Top 10 for sure. But could easily fall out just simply because of teams that aren't in the top 10 could continue to be better. Like the Bengals, they play this week. The Bengals win, I'm probably going to put the Bengals in, over the Ravens. But the Ravens will always be a good team because they have Lamar Jackson.
Big Nip says he's disappointed in us.
I know, and I'm beating the drum like every week for the Bengals,
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. It was tough.
It's that beginning. The beginning for the Bengals was so tough.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding so far. But yeah, I agree. Number 9 got Baltimore blowing 2 17-point leads and being the worst passing defense in the NFL is not going to help you in any which fucking way. They need to figure it out. Obviously, Lamar leading the way in a lot of people's ballots for MVP. Obviously, they have one of their own very well-rounded tight ends in Mark Andrews. And then obviously, I love me some Rashad Bateman. But can't be blowing 17-point leads regularly.
Twice, right.
2-2, obviously, right now. So they just gotta grow. And then obviously, Mama said it. Number 10, he has Jacksonville. He's been watching.
Congratulations, Doug.
He's been
moving I think he's like 4th all time in wins for the Jacksonville Jaguars now. Congratulations. Wasn't that hard to pass our
Tragic franchise.
Not passing yet, but just give it one more game. Maybe this week against Houston.
Maybe.
Probably not, though, because Houston always plays them tough, and they always play stupid against Houston. So Jacksonville's probably going to find their way out of the top 10, too. Poor guys.
This one's for you, Mamba. There's some biased.
I do. Oh, I definitely do.
There's some bias.
I do not like Eli Apple. But the reason the Bengals, all right, Nips, the reason why I didn't want to put them in here yet, because I have Higgins. I'm trying to get Mixon in a league. Joe Burrow is my guy. If he ever leaves, I hope he comes to my team, obviously. But then not really getting it together the first 2 weeks. And then, they should have won against the Steelers, but they couldn't get it together. And
it was a lot.
It was really just that. And I know the 2 17-point blown those aren't expected. And obviously, the start for the Bengals wasn't as expected. But then again, they've struggled with sacks since last year. Just give it one more week, and they'll probably be in here, homie. I got you. Don't worry.
It's definitely going to be interesting. My number 10 team, the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, they are 3-1, but as Mamba mentioned when he had them at number 7, they could easily be 2-2. Kirk Cousins can't get it done in primetime games, and it's probably going to bite them in the ass come down the stretch here if they're not going to be
unless he plays New Orleans.
Yeah, but then again, we'll see.
Well, we're not going to make it to the playoffs, so ha, Kirk.
Hey, beating Green Bay is an absolute accomplishment, especially in division. We always love an in-division rivalry. Always love when division opponents match up against each other. And then when you get a big win, it's important. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But probably could have lost to the Saints. Game probably shouldn't have been that close.
Should have lost.
Literally after their first score, I was like, this game is over. You guys didn't have anybody really playing. It shouldn't have been this close to the game. So I'm still a little sussed out. 3-1 Minnesota's looking good. And they got some dookie teams. I believe they got Chicago. I think they play the Giants coming up at some point. They're going to be playing some rinky-dink teams. So they're probably going to pick up a few more wins. We'll definitely see what that team looks like. But as previously mentioned, they got these pieces on offense and on defense, so they should just be all right. It definitely feels like there is a chance that
I agree. I agree. If that O line for the
4-0.
Bengals just started playing like actually protecting Joe Burrow doesn't throw those 4 interceptions in the first game, and y'all probably do win that game.
Yeah.
So 4-0 maybe, but at least 3-1 is what they should be. But it's just not how it happened. They had to figure out. Oh shit, we still suck on the O line.
Big old prove it game coming up as we transition onward. We are going to talk about some of the bigger games of the week 5, starting off with tonight, Thursday night football. It's the horse race. Colts at Broncos.
I hope it ends in a tie.
Mamba, who are you picking and why on a Thursday night football matchup?
Honestly, I hope the Colts lose.
Yo, so you picking Denver?
Yes, I'm picking Denver, and I don't even know if Russell Wilson's being the starter. Starting tonight because shoulder injury a little bit. They might not. Say let's ride. Yeah, I think he will play, but the question marks are still there.
Let's ride.
I hope Mike Boone, please. I don't pray a lot, bro, but please.
You pick him up in the league?
Yes, I did in our league. Yes, I did.
Oh, in our league,
bro. Jonathan Taylor is out. DeAndre Swift is out. I have no running backs, bro. Damn. Yes, I picked up Mike Boone. I'm hopeful that Melvin Gordon doesn't play well, and they're like, okay. And then Mike Boone gets maybe 1 or 2 rushes of 50 yards apiece. Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 50-yard runs, and they're like, okay, we'll just run him the rest of it. And he ends up setting a record with 350 rushing yards or some shit like that. That's what I'm looking for. I don't know what you're looking for, but that's what I'm looking for.
I hear it. I agree with Big Nips. A bit of an underwhelming matchup, but all 3 of us, I guess you could say, have the Broncos on this one. It is going to be a bit of
it's simply because game. I'm salty. Jonathan Taylor's been so ass.
I'm rocking with Denver, although I do like both these teams, but I will be hosting this game on the Ravon Sports app at later tonight. So obviously, I got to get my piece in. Yes. And we hate the Broncos. 80% of Utah fans are Broncos fans. Interesting. I did not know that. But because
they don't have a Utah team.
Yeah.
They don't have a Utah team. They're the closest team unless they're going to Dallas or something,
Yeah, close enough. As we move on, the early window game. Early window game straight from London. The Giants visiting Green Bay in London. Matchup of 3-1 teams. Green Bay.
Yeah, most likely. I could, you could see though Saquon maybe have a good game.
Saquon with a good game? I could see it.
Yeah, I could see Saquon
no upset. No New York Giants upset in London.
I know they're 3-1, and this is one of those teams where it's like, oh, why aren't they in the top 10 power rankings? Let me tell you something. You're right. Go watch them. They got 3 wins. That is respect. Better than my team. Better than your team. Probably better than your team. Whoever watching this, unless the Giants are your team, then congratulations, y'all are 3-1. But y'all are about to get stomped out by Green Bay, I think.
That should answer your question, Big Nips. Do we believe in the Giants?
Maybe they'll get a couple more wins.
They're definitely going to win a few more games. Just not this week. I think it is. I think they're going to find a bit more struggles. They'll be able to beat up on some of the lower NFC teams, obviously, but they're still probably a year, maybe 2 years away.
I'd say at least 2.
I'm thinking Eagles style. They obviously restarted with the quarterback, brought in a new coach. Let's see what Daboll does with Daniel Jones this season and maybe heading into next season as they continue to try to improve the roster. And then maybe there'll be a team worth mentioning down the line. But I do believe that they'll eventually fall off.
Oh, yeah. Cliff, it's like right here. Cliff is right here, and they're literally on the edge.
They're about to spiral, and then when they're 4-8 and 4-7 or whatever, no one's going to be surprised.
Agree.
Pretty much. No offense, though. No offense to the Giants. Yeah. As we move on to our teams, the Detroit Lions come into town to take on my New England Patriots. I got the Pats, obviously. This isn't just bias based. I'm going to be honest with you. because I like the Giants. I like the Lions. We talked about on this show, are the Lions arguably the best offense in the NFL? Statistically, right now, they are. Statistically, right now, they are. They put up a shit ton of points. They pick up a shit ton of yards on the ground and the air. They do it all. But if they plan on rolling into Foxborough with hey, I respect it. Go Lions, absolutely respect it. But if they roll into Foxborough, no DeAndre Swift and no no Swift and no St. Brown, they're not scoring 27 points. But if we got Bailey Zappi throwing the ball, I'm fucking terrified. Yeah, I'm absolutely terrified.
Yep.
I was watching him play, and his ball is not a pretty ball. I get it. He broke a bunch of records wherever the hell he went first. I forget what school.
Western Kentucky, I believe.
That was where he went after.
Oh.
Before he went to Western Kentucky and put up a bunch of records, he was somewhere else with his OC. With offensive coordinator. Then they went to Western Kentucky together, broke a bunch of records. He throws the football. He's a football throwing maniac, and I'm all for it. But we don't got that great of an OC or that great of an offense to mask the the shakiness, unless he has a really good week of practice. Obviously doesn't feel good being tossed into a game as a third string quarterback and you're lining up against Aaron Rodgers, arguably one of the best quarterbacks of all time. So I do give him a bit of a pass for that, but I'm rocking with my New England Patriots, obviously. Mamba, you don't got to side with me.
Oh, don't worry. This game, it's really the Patriots are going to run all over them because the Detroit run defense is atrocious. I mean, atrocious. Or the Patriots aren't going to be able to keep up with the points, right? Like that, it feels like it's going to go one of those ways, and I'm leaning more towards the Patriots' run game and their defense to slow down the Lions. You milk the clock, they won't have that much time to, they'll have to get down the field quickly, and that can result in interceptions, fumbles, not really penalties because you're not lined up properly. It's going to be tough, especially since they're going into New England.
Of course, Jared Goff's sort of just an average quarterback also.
Yes.
So it does a lot of things go in our favor. Average quarterback, missing his best wide receiver and missing his best running back. We're looking pretty good. Yeah. Ask me on Sunday morning if they have St. Brown, Swift, Hawkinson, Jamal Williams. They got everybody. Then I'm definitely going to be a lot more.
Maybe,
definitely going to be a lot more concerned.
You also had the Patriots last year. Mac threw like 3 passes in one game, and they won the game.
But that was literally in the middle of a fucking storm.
Yeah, but like they could do it again,
ever. Maybe, but we'll see. We'll see. Again, that's even if Mac plays. We'll have to wait and see. If Mac plays, definitely I'm going to feel a whole lot better. Hopefully he's healthy enough to play. But as we move on, the Seattle Seahawks go down into New Orleans to take on your Saints, Mamba. You guys losing this game? Are you picking yourself to lose? Probably not.
I mean,
Seattle's
it's a good chance.
Though.
They are. Gino is slinging the ball around.
They are fucking trying.
The thing that scares me the most is the Saints always like to give up a big play. And DK and Tyler Lockett, they like to make big plays. And our offense, we have some questions on. Michael Thomas might not play. Alvin Kamara is still banged up a little bit. Winston isn't playing, but Andy Dalton showed he is serviceable still,
Yep.
If we have Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, yeah. But I'm going to go with the Saints because why the hell would I not pick the Saints, bro? I mean, it is going to be tough. We will have to, throw mad touchdowns probably, but our defense is solid. So hopefully we don't give up the big play and we can contain that Seahawks offense.
Hey, I absolutely agree. I'm siding with New Orleans on this one. Your defense is legit, has been legit. And if you guys can get healthy, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, Chris Olave is looking like an absolute stud out there. Have some offensive pieces. It's just a matter of being
the
healthy.
O-line solid
on all sides. Exactly. I'm going to rock with the Saints on this one. I agree. So far, have not missed a beat. Onward. The Dallas Cowboys, led by maybe Cooper Rush, maybe Dak.
Definitely Cooper Rush. Dak is still on what was it? The injury squad, I think they called it.
As they head into
the rehab squad.
They head into Los Angeles to take on the Rams, who just got embarrassed Matthew Stafford and the gang. Mamba, how are we leaning on this one? Do the Rams get back on track? Do the Cooper Rush hype train? Is it just going to keep going?
No, sir.
Oh,
The
it's
Rams
over.
better be pissed off. They just got completely embarrassed against that 49ers team.
Nips is hoping for a tie.
I'm always down for a tie, unless it's my team. I'm always down for a tie. Aaron Donald's coming in to eat. Their run defense is like the best in the league, I believe. Zeke only averages like 2 yards a carry. That man is literally gonna have like 4 rushing attempts for a yard, bro. It's just gonna be too much. I know Micah Parsons is on that Cowboys side, and it's gonna be a lot because that Rams O-line is atrocious.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I like a pissed off Rams team against the Cowboys.
A Rams team on the road to redemption.
A pissed off Rams team, because if they're not pissed off, they're about to get smoked.
Big Nip says he hates both of these teams.
It's the fan base. It's the fan bases. That's usually what builds hate towards a team is the fan base.
Rams,
or if they've done some crazy
finally
shit against a team.
And now they're I hear it. I also have the Rams on this one. For a lot of the similar reasons. Redemption, revenge. Yep. They're coming. Aaron Donald's coming for blood. Everyone in this division is tied 2-2, even Seattle, who everyone thought was just going to be the laughingstock of the NFL. This division is no joke, and they need to bounce back on track. And what better way than to beat a 3-1 team, a team that's also running hot. Right. And obviously, Cooper Rush is feeling himself, so it's definitely they got to.
A lot of people are feeling him too.
You know what I'm saying?
There is a lot of people saying he should stay in over Dak.
It's a big statement game. The Rams obviously also catching a terrible loss to the Bills, as previously mentioned, to start the year. This team needs to get some big wins and start getting some big wins soon. 49ers loss definitely didn't help. This will start getting them in the right track somehow, some way.
Matt Stafford still hasn't thrown a touchdown in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
he's throwing one to the other team.
Yeah,
but
he threw one to you.
He ain't throwing one to his team.
Yeah,
maybe pass to Allen Robinson, you dickhead.
Well, I'm telling you, that trade did not pan out for them. Obviously,
well, they were trade. They signed him 5 years, 45.
Well, they traded away Robert Woods. They got rid of Robert Woods and absolutely shouldn't have. They absolutely needed to keep him. But as we continue onward, the Philadelphia Eagles, our number 2 ranked team, goes down to the fucking desert of Arizona to take on Kyler Murray and the gang, who are trying to prove
they're trying to bounce back.
Yeah, they're trying to bounce back desperately here. Obviously.
I know they got that win against Carolina. It was ugly. They did not do anything until the second half.
The Raiders was ugly.
Yeah. So
the Cardinals are not that great right now. After
I feel like we might be agreeing again.
Yeah,
I'm going with the Eagles. Yeah, Eagles about to improve to 5-0.
Easy dub for the Eagles. Yeah, I'm leaning Eagles here. Although I will not be surprised if Arizona walks out of this game with a dub.
Could be high scoring. Could be very high.
That's what I mean. I think it might turn into a very high scoring game. I think it's good. We're going to get a lot of rushing yards, a lot of moving around. Both these quarterbacks like to move. They could put up points. I don't think it's going to be a problem to put up points for either one of these teams. Like them both. Gonna rock with the Eagles on this one. I think their defense is a little bit better. They'll be able to contain Kyler, obviously, just a little bit more to eke out the win. But I'm gonna also be rocking with Philly.
And I'm gonna say, if you ever listen to us for bets, go with the under on that game, because every time we say the game could be high score, I swear it's like 10-11. It's all right. So we want a high scoring game,
not a gambling,
but probably not a high scoring game.
Not a gambling show.
Go Eagles, though. Go Eagles.
You know what I mean? As we move on, the Sunday is this? Yes, I believe this is our Sunday night game. Bengals, Baltimore. Who's winning and why, Mamba?
It'd be kind of counterintuitive for me to say Bengals since I put the Ravens in my top 10, huh? I'm going Bengals. I am. I am for Joe Burrow and Jamar and Joe. I'm going to go with them. I understand. It's stupid of me. Oh, well. I don't make a lot of sense a lot of the time. So Bengals, they win.
It's so tempting for me to pick the Bengals on this one, but I gotta beg to differ.
There
I'm
you go.
gonna
There you go.
lean
Finally.
Baltimore. Gonna lean
It's not
Baltimore.
wrong.
Not only so we go up against each other. Big Nip says we know who's winning, but
we do, Nips. He don't, but we do. Yeah.
For a similar reason on why I picked the Rams, I think Baltimore got a lot to prove, and they obviously are going to want to get this game back again. A division game. These games are always the best. I'm a little worried because Joe Burrow absolutely had Baltimore's number last season.
Field day.
Absolutely had their number last season, and Baltimore is literally the worst passing defense. Damn, I think I'm gonna have to change my pick.
God look at that. Look at that, Nips. He's already talking his. Nah, bro, your gut is saying Ravens. Go with the Ravens.
I'm gonna stick with Baltimore, but their pass offense is so bad, and just for fantasy purposes, I do have Jamar Chase in one of my leagues, so would not mind having him have a good old day. But their pass defense hopefully holds up. I just think Lamar and company are gonna be out for blood, so to speak, out for blood, and just gonna bounce back here and hopefully catch a dub. Yes, I know it is very frightening, and now thinking about it, I feel like I might have made the wrong decision, but I'm gonna roll with Lamar.
We about to get 1,000 yards in one game. Look at that.
I'm gonna roll with Lamar. I'm gonna just do it as we wrap up our week 5.
It's not a bad choice.
Monday Night Football. The Las Vegas Raiders go into town to Kansas City to take on our number 1 team, Mamba. Who wins and why?
Who wins? Kansas City wins because the Raiders are dog. Yes, they are dog shit. Kansas City, we picked them number 1 for a reason. And I mean, the Raiders have pieces, and these two teams, being in division, they do like to get competitive at times. But the Chiefs are just too much. They're gonna overpower the Raiders. Raiders might be able to, be in it for a little bit, but it'll just get too much for them to handle. Yeah, they are going. Don't do it. Do not do it. Your gut is wrong.
I'm picking the Raiders.
Your guts are wrong.
Absolutely picking the Raiders. Just because for some odd reason, the Raiders are like the Patriots Miami, where it doesn't matter if they fucking suck or not. For some reason, if they beat you at least once a year, and this has been a common trend, they go in an Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs. I'm gonna go in with a shocker. The shocker win, upset of the week.
The wrong pick.
Raiders over Kansas City in a shocking game. It's not gonna be 38-35. It ain't gonna be. It's gonna be a field day. I absolutely believe.
I'm thinking more Arizona versus Chiefs in this one. Like 44-20.
I'm going with the upset. Raiders coming in. Derek Carr knows how to carve up this defense. He's done it multiple times.
Yes,
he's played this team multiple times. His entire 8-year career, he's been there. He's been playing Kansas City. So I'm rocking with the Raiders on this one for an absolute shocker of a game. I think we'll have a high-scoring affair on that one, and I think it's going to be an overall great game. I would love a high-scoring game, but Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Renfro, big game, Darren Waller. It's going to be an absolute shootout of a game. I'm taking the Raiders. That's going to do it for us here at RGTP. Be back next Wednesday. We're back at our regular scheduled time. I had some work things to take care of last night.
Oh, they don't even know that.
Be able to, come through. So we'll be back next Wednesday, dropping an updated weekly update to the power rankings.
That has the Bengals in it.
If they win, they will absolutely leapfrog the Ravens. Absolutely. There's no way to deny that. It might get shaken up. Every week it happens. Teams get knocked down. Teams get knocked up. If it comes true, Kansas City will not be number 1 for me. That's for damn sure.
If it comes true, for sure. They drop into at least 5, to be honest.
That will be next week. Obviously, we'll get ready with basketball, NBA season. We'll be getting underway. More preseason conversations will be had. Thank you, Big Nips, for coming through. You have a good one, too. And then tomorrow, Friday, is Wrestling Day, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be here to give a full preview for Extreme Rules and talk about some AEW
which is happening
shenaniganry.
Saturday.
Yes,
Nice.
of course. It's a lot going on. It is a lot going on. But all that and more right here on RGTP. Mamba, let the good folks at home know what they got to do.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, notifications on.
And have a
Have
good
a great
night.
day. Yeah. Morning,
That easy.
evening,
That
noon.
easy.